Today in the crypto space, we see the market kind of going sideways. Bitcoin right around that $70,000 mark, and Ethereum right around 3,500. The rest of the crypto space see altcoins a mix of green and red. We have some good gainers. Look at Altcoin, Tau, VeChain, and a few others. However, guys, we do have a few dips. Look at Phantom and even Uniswap continuing to the downside based on the FUD. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project that is looking for that retracement and potentially getting the bounce very soon. Hot narrative indeed, and that project is called REALIO. So you know what, let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. Of course, they're all in the description. And of course, if you want to join the Discord, guys, the Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this market. The market is looking interesting given the fact that we're going sideways, and all of a sudden, we got a spike of volume right into here. Look at this spike of volume out of nowhere. Trading volume, obviously. And then we have, you know, this kind of sideways consolidation on the overall market cap. Quite interesting. I'm wondering what caused this volume. Let's continue going through the top 100 here to get an idea of an overall consensus. What is this market doing today? Are we going to get a continuation to the downside? Are we going to continue breaking down here? Or are we going to finally get some support for a bounce? Bitcoin coming up approximately 1%, but still kind of going sideways within range. Ethereum doing the same thing. BNB getting a bit of a retracement. Solana looking okay for a nice 3.6 bounce to the upside. Not bad overall. Solana has been on a bit of a retracement the last little while, so maybe looking for some support. This be just a bounce before it continues to the downside? Possible. Altcoin, Beast doing very well, up 40% in the last 7 days. Good stuff here happening for Ton. Cardano kind of going sideways, and if you look at the general market, guys, as we keep on scrolling down, they're pretty much all the same. Still grinding to the downside. We could be in a dead cat bounce type of scenario where we're seeing a bit of relief to the upside and then finally continue to the downside again after breaking some support. We have Near Protocol coming down. Look at this. It does look like a head and shoulders formation, shoulder, head, shoulder. Very clear there. Maybe it starts breaking down. Just keep in mind that a head and shoulders formation only becomes bearish when we break the neckline. ICP still grinding to the downside. Uniswap still on the FUD, guys, down 20% in the last 7 days. The fear, uncertainty, and doubt is definitely hitting the Uniswap. What else do we got? Continuations, still grinding to the downside. BitTensor, Tau, flew today. It got a nice pop to the upside and then a retracement. Pretty much the retracement ate up about half of the pop. So, you know, that's the name of the game, guys. We got lots of volatility. When you're trying to go in against the market, sometimes you get that volatility. BitTensor attempted to go against the grain today. Definitely. VeChain waking up, also going against the grain, up 6.5%. But guys, you know, we know that VeChain hasn't been doing much in the last little while. So maybe now it's its turn. You know, we have a lot of other ones that other projects, layer ones that haven't done much, like Algorand. Is it due for a wake-up call? Very much so. So VeChain waking up like this is pretty good, nice and healthy. Kaspa looking strong, going sideways. Remember we talked about Kaspa and its support range. Could this just be a dead cat bounce where we do come down? We got support on a diagonal trend, which of course a lot of people are going to look at that trend and say, oh, you know, the trend is our friend. However, we like horizontal supports much more, right? So horizontal support is slightly below. Maybe we do come down for that horizontal support, and then we could get a nice bounce, a real significant bounce for Kaspa and continuation to the upside. Optimism still grinding to the downside. Theta looking okay. Higher highs and higher lows here, guys. Looking pretty good. Phantom, look at that hang time, you know, finally giving up and rolling over, down 6% today. Phantom did very well here in the last little while. Okay, it's been doing great. It grinded up really hard, doing a lot of good things in the last little while. However, guys, retracements do happen, and Phantom is in one of those scenarios. The question is, should we be buying the dips? Right, you buy the dips on the red days for sure, and we have been getting a couple of red days. Athena, not really interested in red days, still grinding to the upside, higher highs and higher lows, and a nice beautiful trend. Big Get token doing the same thing, higher highs and higher lows for the last little while. But Celestia and Sui, projects that I'm interested in, definitely ones that I'm willing to scale into. Even a bit of core, I wouldn't mind getting in. We're talking about $2 billion market cap projects here, though, guys. What could we get out of this? Maybe a 5-10x. Very, very possible. You know, Algorand is another one that I've been, you know, waiting for patiently for another wake-up call. Could we get that eventually? Very, very possible. We want a nice strong run in these layer ones, especially the ones that have been lingering at the bottom of the range. We want Say to definitely make a nice comeback, and it has been retracing in the next little while. So these are large layer ones. These are big ecosystem projects, and we're talking about $2 billion market cap a piece. Now, if you want some of that exposure, yes, it's great. Potentially great gains there, but not life-changing given the fact that the market cap is large. So consider looking into some projects that are lower market cap, that have great technology, good fundamentals, and of course that's when we do those deep dives. Let's continue going down. NEO looking really strong here, up 41% in the last 7 days, guys. Good stuff coming out of the Asia market. Good stuff there. And again, retracements. Guys, the overall market is, you know, definitely still looking weak. There's no real sign of strength just yet. You know, if anything, I'm seeing a lot of head and shoulder formations, a lot of confirmation lows, a lot of, you know, hang time rolling over. I'm not really convinced that the dip is done. And now that we're seeing a lot of the gainers, like for example, Nervos Network is down 12.5%, it starts to make me believe that all the good gainers could be retracing in the next little while. So you know what, I think a strategy here would be obviously to DCA, but DCA slower than usual. Give it some time. DCA as you in heavier as you get confirmations. Right now it could be a sign that you're potentially looking to catch a falling knife, and that's when your entries are not going to be the greatest. Wait for those confirmations, and that way you can scale into a project with a bit of confidence. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts. Let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? We'll take a look at REALIO. Of course, I want to focus on REALIO a little bit today, but let's begin by looking at Bitcoin. What is going on here with Bitcoin? I don't trust this price action, guys. I really don't. I don't feel convinced that I should be taking risk here. And as a trader, risk is public enemy number one, and we definitely have to find ways to mitigate that risk. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail. We hit a nice little top here. You know, I'm getting a little diamond, a red diamond here, which starts to make me believe that we could be gearing up for a trend, a pivot from a bullish trend of momentum to a bearish trend of momentum. You can see that, you know, red diamonds generally dictate, you know, bearish trend. Now, in a big picture bullish trend, as you know, that Bitcoin has been impulsing to the upside since its absolute bottom, you know, bearish trends get neutralized very often, and this is what happened here. This dip that was supposed to be a dip, you know, didn't happen given the fact that the bulls were so strong that they bought up every single little dip. Now the question is this happening the same thing? Is it happening right now? Could be very possible that we end up going sideways for a little longer. In fact, we could come back down to the bottom of the range here at this green arrow and still flatline a little while longer and kind of do our thing before we get another impulse. So do we expect the bearishness to get neutralized by the bulls? It could be possible here, guys. Could be very possible. We do see the MACD gearing up for potential EMA cross. Is this also possible? Keep in mind that we got a fake out in the past where we thought we were going to get a cross and then it opened up again and continued coming down. I'm not too crazy about front running the MACD, to be honest. I like to see the EMA cross and one little green histogram bar, and then all of a sudden we're seeing a red here, which means that, look, this sideways consolidation that we're in right now with regards to price is nicely nestled into a chop zone here on the momentum. We're stuck in the chop zone, 50% mark going sideways. The momentum is going sideways while the volatility is dropping. So what does that mean to me? That means that we're not getting volatility, number one. Number two, the momentum is neither up or down, so we're in the chop zone, which means we could go sideways for a little bit longer. And the MACD is not really giving me a strong signal of conviction that we're ready to cross and get a nice bullish run to the upside. So guess what, guys? I'm not trading Bitcoin. I'm going to be looking for other opportunities. Okay, that's a fair game. That's a very good strategy. If you don't feel confident, doesn't mean you have to trade. Look for another opportunity. Okay, let's jump right into RIO. Guys, RIO at the end of the day, given the way the market has been looking, the indecisiveness on Bitcoin, Ethereum kind of dipping down today a little bit more than Bitcoin is. We have a lot of the rest of the market not looking the greatest. Guys, I am not, I'm not totally convinced here that REALIO is going to be forming an absolute bottom. right? There is a potential possibility that's the case, and I'll show you my bullish thesis, but I'll also explain to you my bearish thesis. It's very important that we analyze both and that we allocate a probability to both. You know, statistically speaking, I do see that we could get some support here. And this horizontal line has been here for a good while. REALIO, you know, hanging around the zone is very possible. Getting a bounce and consolidating in this area. We have a good amount of volume right into here. Market participation right around the zone, suggesting that, you know, there's people getting in and out. And I would have loved to see higher highs and higher lows in this sideways consolidation, even if they were slight, because that would give me an indication that people are accumulating a bit by bit. Now, this dip that we're in right now needs to hold this level. If it doesn't, we have a lot of weakness below. So let's talk about that. If you start looking at other levels and we start looking for support levels, obviously we got this level very clearly. Okay, well, that's the wrong tool. Let's use a nice horizontal line right here. There's clearly that we got a nice level right here. We also got a nice level above that we got to watch out for, because we have the top of the volume gap. And let me highlight this as a weak spot. Okay, let's just be very clear as best as we can to isolate scenarios. Now, do we come down to this big mess all the way down here, guys? It could be possible, guys. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know if it's going to come down here, but probability, statistically speaking, if we were to come down to these levels here, the ones that I'm highlighting right now, this is where we start introducing a big wall of volume. This volume represents market participation, very emotional individuals that are willing to protect their gains. And at the end of the day, it could happen that we get this big retracement. And it does look like it would be a 786 retracement using Fibonacci. However, guys, that's my bearish perspective. We have a lot of empty space below, as you can see, a lot of empty volume gap, not much volume to act as support if we do break down. So with that being said, guys, be prepared that a buy opportunity at about $1.40 to about $1.20 is possible, statistically speaking. Now, what about this scenario that we are in right now? Could we eventually form a bit of support to give us a bit of confidence, with some confluence, that we are going to hold up and go sideways here? And this is why I want to isolate the importance of this current diagonal line that I put in above, is because, yes, if we do hold here, if we do continue getting a bounce and going sideways here, it could be a nice bull flag, which is an epic pattern of a continuation pattern. Impulsive move. We got a nice impulsive move out of the accumulation zone here on RIO, guys. Just, you know, full disclosure, I'm holding a big bag of RIO. I bought in super early. Members of the community have been scaling into this thing, you know, previous summer, pretty much all the way down here. We were scaling and buying the dips. Now, all of a sudden, look where we are. We're looking for, you know, accumulation zones for potential buy the dip opportunities. But just keep in mind that REALIO is still a small market cap. Despite its bullishness, despite how many people are talking about it, it's only around the $50 million market cap, which means that there's still a lot of potential growth in a very hot narrative. It is the real world asset narrative. Go check it out. I suggest you do a deep dive. In fact, I do have a deep dive for you guys. Go check out the deep dive playlist on the channel. I cover a lot of deep dives. I'm up to like about 40 of them up until now. If you're looking for details about the project and you want to get fundamentally bullish, it's a great place to start. Check out those deep dives. Now, from a bullish perspective, if we do consider this a consolidation and we go sideways in a bull flag, we're starting to look for a breakout to the upside, a continuation, and we're going to continue into price discovery. Who knows how high we're going to go here, guys? I can start pulling out extension levels, swing high to swing low. We look at 1.27, 1.618 at the $4 mark, a nice round number. That is all very possible. Let's just put them in there just to keep ourselves, you know, in tune with the reality. Another impulsive move, another leg to the upside could take us to about $4, $3.50. However, guys, we need a little bit more of a confirmation that this is going to be a bull flag. What I don't like, let's talk about what I don't like. Very clearly, the momentum, the purple line right here on this oscillator is showing us that we're building a trend to the downside, to the point that we could get oversold here. And every time this purple line, the momentum gets oversold, guys, expect a further continuation, a further dip, and that's when, you know, we basically get the impulsive move or a retracement where we start to induce a bit of pain on the market. The volatility is definitely happening. You can see we're going overbought to oversold, which is the orange line. However, we can see that we got our impulse based on the orange line as the momentum is falling. Do we take a break in the chop zone? That's the big question. Why do I say that? Because every time we see the momentum hit the chop zone, guys, we've held up. and we've continued going back up to overbought conditions and eventually breaking out. We got 3 expansion moves to the upside, back to back, straight up, straight up, straight up. And the last one got our huge impulse. Now, do we have enough in it to get another one? Do we get extremely overbought and continue going up? This is the risk you take. You're getting into a trade where the market has already ran pretty hot already. So this is why you have to wait to confirm this as a bull flag. Buy at the bottom of the range of this bull flag. And pretty much identify your invalidation. Where is your invalidation for this bullish thesis? Stop loss right underneath these lows, and then continuation to the upside, where eventually you start hitting those price targets, right? Those higher extension levels. So again, bottom of the range, which is where we are right now. We got many wicks right around this area. If you get into a position right at this moment and put a stop loss right underneath these wicks, at least you know that you attempted to buy the bottom on this consolidation and expect it to start moving back to the top of the range. If it breaks below, guys, we're coming down to about 1.4, 1.38, maybe 1.2, like all into this red box, and that would be the best risk to reward opportunity to be starting to look for bottoms and W formations, bullish divergences, all the bullish patterns that should give you that confluence and the confidence to be buying the dip heavy. So this is where we're at. Let's look at the MACD. MACD looks bearish. Definitely EMA crosses to the downside. Red histogram bars are definitely coming down here. Not the greatest look for the trend strength. It is definitely in bullish control zone, but with this EMA cross and red histogram bars, it is definitely trying to get to the bearish side of things, and it could happen here, guys. So be very careful. This is what I'm saying. If we dip down, let's pay attention to buy the dip opportunities right around the zone and expect an update here on the channel when that does happen, because you can imagine I will be buying the dip heavy if that were to be happening, because it could be the last buy opportunity on REALIO before we continue the next major bullish rally to the upside. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, you know what you got to do. You got to slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm, help the channel grow. And of course, if you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and the learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.